What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to Game Day with Trey. Of course, this is your host, Trey, and today we're going to talk about this Sunday afternoon NFL matchup between the Chicago Bears and the LA Rams. All right, so this game will be played September 29th, 1 p.m. East Coast time, kickoff in Chicago, Illinois. The line is Bears -3, over under set at 40.5. Hasn't been any movement at all on the line. Actually, it was at -2.5 at one point for the Bears, but it's moved to Bears -3. So let's go ahead and let's look at these two teams, right? So the Chicago Bears are 1-2 this season after they lost to the Indianapolis Colts by a score of 21-16 in their last game. Chicago cut that deficit 14-9 in the second half, but couldn't get any closer in the loss. Bears outgained Indianapolis by a total of 395 to 306 total yards. Lost the turnover battle 3-2, and went 9 for 21 on third down in the game. Caleb Williams threw for 363 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions, while Rome Odunze, he caught 6 passes for 112 yards and 1 score in that game, guys. Chicago's up and down team, man. Like, Chicago really shouldn't have lost this game right here. Despite the fact that Caleb Williams was out there trying to play hero ball, they should have found a way to be able to win this game. But as usual, they got out coached. Matt Eberflus did what Matt Eberflus does, man. And until they get rid of Matt Eberflus, man, I don't see a strong future for this team until they get them a new coach in there. And they already messed up by not getting rid of him before the season started. But anyway, man, I digress. Chicago defeated Tennessee by a score of 24-17 in Week 1. But they lost to Houston by a score of 19-13 in Week 2. And then we saw last week, right? So Chicago's averaging 17.7 points per game with 176.7 passing yards and 72.7 rushing yards per game, while the defense has only allowed 19 points per game this season. The Bears have gone 33% on third down and 7-9 on fourth down through the 3 games. But Caleb Williams has completed only 59.3% of his passes, guys, for 630 yards, 2 touchdowns, and double his touchdown by interceptions. 4 interceptions. Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4 interceptions, guys, from Caleb Williams, number 1 pick in the NFL draft. Lately it's always been the second quarterback that turns out to be the better quarterback, man, the last couple of years. We might see that again with Jaden Daniels. But anyway, I digress, man. Chicago offense, we already know what they've been doing, man. And we know that DJ Moore's caught 19 passes for 167 yards. But those 4 interceptions and only being able to complete 59.3% of your passes is really holding this team back. All right, and then when you look at the LA Rams, the Rams are 1-2 this year after they defeated San Francisco by a score of 27-24 in their last game. The Rams trailed 21-7 in the third quarter, but they scored the last 13 points in the fourth quarter for the win. The Rams were outgained by a total of 425 to 296 yards. Won the turnover battle 1-0 and went 5 for 12 on third down in the game. Now, Matt Stafford threw for 221 yards, 1 touchdown, and while Kyron Williams rushed for 89 yards and a touchdown. All right, so Los Angeles lost to Detroit earlier in the year, okay, by a score of 26-20 in overtime, and then they lost to Arizona by a score of 41-10 in Week 2. All right, the offense has only been scoring 19 points per game. They only get 231.3 passing yards per game. All right, and 78 rushing yards per game. This does not look like the Rams of old, guys. It ain't like that no more, man. For some reason, these boys have allowed 30.3 points per game. All right, and they're only scoring 19. They're only rushing 78 yards per game, man. The Rams have gone 34.3% on third downs and 4-7 on fourth down so far this season. Like, it's just not looking the same. Matt Stafford has only completed 68.3% of his passes for 754 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception, while Kyron Williams has rushed for 164 yards and 4 touchdowns thus far this season, guys. Let's look at the injury report real quick so we can come to a better understanding of what's going on out there. And when you look at the injury report, you see that every single person that is of importance, okay, on this Rams team, meaning Matt Stafford, or being outside of Matt Stafford, on the offense, is hurt. Puka Nacua, he's on IR. Cooper Kupp, he's on IR. Joe Noteboom, he's on IR. Steve Avila, he's on IR for the knee. Like, this is a really banged up Rams team right now, especially when you're looking at that offense. That's why they're not scoring the points. That's why they're only getting 17.3 points, man. And then when you look at Chicago, they got everybody injured too. Darnell Wright, he's questionable with the back. Darrell Taylor, Roma Dunze, he's still questionable dealing with that hip, even though he played last week. Keenan Allen, he's questionable with the heel. I mean, will he ever touch the field? It's a lot of players that's questionable on this side, man. But when you go ahead, you dig a little bit deeper. Just dig a little bit deeper into these two teams, and you look at what their matchup stats look like, man. You always come back to the 19 points a game for the Rams versus Chicago's giving up 19. That means it's a fair, even split. It ain't gonna be too much more than that. Then when you look at Chicago versus the Rams, that's 17 points to the 30.3 points. If the Rams defense does not show up, okay, then it's going to be a long, long day, okay? And what they got to show up is against the pass. And the Rams defense against the pass, let's see. They are a bottom feeder, guys. They're at the end of the barrel. They're either 32nd or 27th in completion percentage allowed, 32nd in yards per pass allowed. Like, they're trash against the pass, guys. So there's definitely a chance for Chicago to do what needs to be done if they coach the game the way it should be coached, and they play and they call the game the way it should be called, because they have the talent to do it, guys. All right, it's not like they don't, man. Right now, so far in the season, the Rams only converted 34.29% of their third downs, and Chicago's only allowing you to convert 25%. That's number 2 in the NFL, guys. So then, as far as touchdowns concerned, the Rams are scoring 46.15% of the time that they get a red zone, they score a touchdown. But Chicago's only allowing you to score 57.14% of the time that you get in the red zone. They allow you to score a touchdown, guys. But when you flip it, the Rams in the red zone, their defense is trash. They allow you to score 63.64% of the time. That's 24th worst in the NFL versus Chicago's red zone offense, 60th in the NFL. That's the 60th. That's the 10th best. That's 60% in the red zone, guys. So understanding all that will always lead you into how the stat split is and what they're looking like in the situation. And in the situation, the Rams are averaging 15 points a game while giving up 33.5 points per game on the road this season. But when you look at Chicago is only averaging 24 points a game while giving up 17. So you always would just want to be wary or cognizant of certain splits between the two teams, guys, and how it looks, because that will save you a lot of money and a lot of time all the time. So situationally on the year right now, like I said, we all know the Rams are 1-2 on the season, and so is Chicago. As a home team, Chicago is 1-0 this year against the spread and 1-0 straight up. And as an away team, the Rams are 0-2 this year. And 0-2 against the spread so far this year. So when they're not in LA, man, it's a problem. And then when you look over-unders and concerned, when in Chicago, it goes under. Chicago plays some lockdown since its defense. And when on the road, it's 1 to the over, 1 to the under for the Rams. So knowing all this, man, you got to look at the last 10 times these two teams have played. Last 10 times these teams have been on the field, the Rams are 6-4 straight up, 7-3 against the spread, and 7 to the over, 3 to the under in their last 10 games that they have played. Now they do have Green Bay coming up next, Vegas and Minnesota, all three lined up next. And when you look in Chicago, they're 5-5 straight up, 6-3-1 against the spread, and 3 to the over, 7 to the under in their last 10 games that they have played, guys. That right there is with the understanding that they have Carolina up next, Jacksonville, and Washington. So no look-ahead spot here. Head-to-head, Chicago runs a series 6-4 straight up. It's been 5 to the over, 5 to the under, and 4 to the over and 6 to the under in their last 10. Last time they did meet the Phils back in 2021, the Rams won. Rams have won and covered the last 3 times these teams have played, no matter where they are at. But, it could be a different day. Or is it? So let's go ahead. Let's go wrap this up on this teams right here. So, why the Rams have a good opportunity in this game, man? So, the Bears have lost 8 of their last 10 Sunday games against teams that held a losing record. The Rams have won 3 of their last 4 Week 4 games as underdogs against NFC opponents. The Bears have failed to cover the spread in 13 of their last 15 games against teams that held a losing record. And the road team has covered the spread in 8 of the Rams' last 10 Week 4 games. The Rams have won the first quarter in 4 of their last 5 September games as road underdogs against NFC opponents. And the Bears have lost the first half in each of their last 10 games in September. The Rams have also scored the first touchdown in 5 of their last 6 games against the Bears, guys. All right. Also remember that each of the Rams' last 4 road games against NFC opponents has gone under the total points line, and the Bears' last 4 games has gone under the total points line, guys. So what am I looking towards here? What am I trying to shoot at? Man, look, I'm going to be honest with you. I like the under the 40.5. Probably by a point or two to get it under 42.5. I like, with the line moving towards the Bears, I would probably have to take the Bears money line on this one. But that's a lean, guys. I like the under a lot better. I think the Bears defense will play, and I think that Rams will go under 19.5 points. That's what I like. I think they'll do better than that, actually, but definitely under the 19.5 points. But I don't know. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. Please like, share, subscribe. I hope this information does help you guys. Have a blessed day. Stay safe, and I'm going to see you at the window. Peace.